Welcome, yogis. Today's practice will be focusing on some hip opening, side body opening, and there will also be some playful inversion work in there just to get you a little more comfortable on your hands. I would deem today's class as an intermediate level. If you don't consider yourself an intermediate student, you are more than welcome to take class. There may just be little modifications you need to take or omitting a pose here or there. We will need a strap potentially at some point in class. So if you don't have a yoga strap at home, something strap-like a necktie should work just fine. I am so excited to get started. We'll see you on the mat. Oh, kitty. Okay, friends, if you have your strap, just put that off to the side. We will reference it when the time comes. For now, we'll get up on our feet as we're starting standing today. Spread your toes, take a nice even stance, and let your eyes come to a close. As you begin, draw your attention to your breath. Feel the surface of your feet on the earth. And also notice any little bit of swaying that might be happening in the body. Press down through your feet and feel with that a lengthening of the spine. Engage your quads, engage your glutes, tone the belly, and notice where your shoulders are in space. In mountain pose, we want a neutral position, but oftentimes our shoulders tend to be rounded forward. So can you play with drawing the shoulders back in space just a touch? Not so much like you're squeezing the pencil between your shoulder blades, but just a subtle peeling open of your collarbones. A few more rounds of breath here. Ground, anchor into the moment, and clear your mind of its busy thoughts. Allow your chin to drop down to your chest. Continue with the rounding of your upper back. Let your arms drape in front of the body. Soften your knees and slowly make your way all the way down to a ragdoll. You can move slow. As you get down there, decide if you want the arms to dangle or if you'd prefer to interlace the fingers into the eyes of the elbows. Include a bit of bob and sway if that would serve you. Soften your jaw and take a few more rounds of breath. Let your arms drape to the ground if they're not already. Soften your knees, and on a breath out, roll to stand, one vertebra at a time. On a breath in, sweep your arms up and overhead. Have your palms facing forward, and then we're just going to open and close the hands as fast as you can. Focus more on the open than the close. And also, as you're doing this, be aware of your posture. With the arms overhead, we sometimes splay out through the front body. So instead, we're trying to control that. A little lift of the frontal hip bones and engagement in the belly. Keep on going here. Fast, fast hands. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Fold forward. Half lift to breathe in. Bring tented fingertips to the ground and take a step back to plank pose on tented fingers. Squeeze through your glutes. If your fingers feel like they're going to break off, have faith that they won't. Stay with it. This is building great strength for your palms and your forearms. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down to your belly. Flatten your palms. Press all the way back, child's pose. Just a brief pause. Tuck your toes, lift up and back to downward facing dog. And then you decide if you need to pedal out a little bit or if stillness would serve you better. Last round of breath. Step your feet out as wide as the mat. Walk your hands back as you bend your knees and come down to a yogi squat. So here I want you to squiggle around a little bit. Shift your weight side to side, and as you do so, allow the bottoms of your feet to lift away from the floor. We remember for knee health, we are relying on the mobility of our hips and our ankles, stabilizing and supporting the knee through the opening and mobility in those other areas. All right, now make sure you're at the very back edge of your mat. We'll take the hands down in front and then little frog hops to the top of the mat. Take your hands to heart center in yogi squat. Elbows help peel the knees wide, but then an additional squeeze of the glutes to help open through the hips. Take your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back for a lizard lunge. Squeeze your right knee into your shoulder. Extend your heart forward between your biceps, but then at the same time, feel the energy moving back through your heel. A little tug of war through the energy in the body. Extend strong through your back leg. Squeeze your glute and feel the left thigh bone rising without lifting your hips. Send your right leg up and back to a 3-leg dog. Pluck the right foot off the floor and sweep. Take your knee to your chest, round your back, and place your right foot between your hands for runner's lunge. Tent your left fingers, take the right arm high to twist. And again, we're strong and active through the legs, grounding down through the left fingertips and getting this additional strengthening through the palm. Place your left palm flat on the mat and step back to side plank. Left heel will drop left. The right foot comes back to stack or stagger. Take your right hand, weave it underneath the body to thread. Inhale, open back up. Again, reach it and thread. Inhale to open. Last time, stable through the body. Inhale to open. Place 2 hands down, coming to plank pose, and pike the hips back, downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath. Again, we'll step the feet out as wide as the mat. Bend your knees as the hands walk back and find your yogi squat once again. If you like moving around and giving yourself some mobility here, feel free. Otherwise, we'll stay still with hands to heart center. Think about your hips scooting forward and between the legs, but at the same time, a drawing open of the knees, lifting through the arches of your feet. Ensure that you're at the very back edge of your mat. And now you've got options. You can take your frog hops to the top of the mat once again, or we're going to take the hands down, do a little jump, clap your feet, and back down to squat. Working your way forward through these little hops, trying to feel the hips come over the shoulders, and maybe getting a little bit of hang time. Eventually, it's a yogi squat at the top of your mat. Rein in your breath. Place your hands down as you step your right foot back. Lizard lunge. There are variations of lizard that are a little bit more bendy. Today, I ask that you hug your left knee into your shoulder. And then again, feel opposing energies. Heart is pulling forward while your right heel is drawing back. Maintain an active right glute. Strong, steady breath. Take your left leg up and back, 3-leg dog. Curl your knee to your chest. Round your back to make space and step your foot between your hands. Tent your right fingertips and peel your left arm high to twist. Once again, active through your glutes. Engage towards midline and yawn the heart open, twisting through the torso. Ground your right palm flat. Step back to side plank. Stack or stagger the legs. Weave your left arm underneath your body to reach. Inhale, back up. Again, under, reach. Inhale to open. Last one, reach. Inhale to open. Come down, plank pose. Pike your hips, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. On an inhale, sweep your right leg up and back behind you. Keep your legs straight, but peel the hip open and lift the right outer ankle as high as you can. Bend your right knee, heel to glute, and then we'll take 2 or 3 hip circles in each direction. Imagining like you had a paintbrush on your knee, and you're drawing as big of a circle as your body will allow. Come back to a 3-leg dog, send the right leg high. Curl your knee forward, step it through for runner's lunge. Take your tented fingertips out in front of you and rise up to a standing split. Shiva squat, bend both knees. Take your left knee to the outside of the right leg as much as you can, and then inhale, reach it up. Again, squat and tap. Lengthen and kick. Last one, tap. Send it high. Ground your palms on the earth. We'll take a hop switch of the legs, jumping off your right leg and landing on the left. Think hips up over shoulders. Swap. Step your right foot way back. Ground your hands. Left leg high. 3-leg dog. Now again, keep your legs straight, but open your hip. Lift your left outer ankle as high as you can. Bend your left knee, squeeze heel to glute. And then it's 2 or 3 hip circles each direction. Take the left leg high to a 3-leg dog. Guide your knee to your chest, round your back. Step your foot through for runner's lunge. Fingers come forward. The right leg lifts to our standing split. Bow down, forehead towards your knee. And then Shiva squat. Bend both knees. The right knee comes to the outside of the left leg as much as you can. And kick it up. Again, take it down, squat, and kick. Last one. Kick it up. Ground your palms. Take a hop switch. Weight in the fingertips. Hips over shoulders. Swap the legs. Step your left foot way back. The right foot back. Downward facing dog. We'll take 5 breaths. You decide if it's going to be here or in a child's pose. If you're down, start to think about coming back to down dog. On a breath in, send your left leg up and back behind you, 3-leg dog. Take knee to nose, step your foot between your hands, and we'll walk to the right, pivoting to a wide leg fold. Ensure that your feet are on the same line. Find a flat back to start, hinging at the hips, so feeling this little bit of arc in the back. Continue rolling your pelvis on the head of the femur as you come down towards your fold. Now take your hands under your elbows, wrists under elbows, creating sort of this chaturanga-like arm, and use that to pull the crown of your head towards the earth. The weight should be mid-foot, preventing the hips from sending back behind the heels. We shift a weight just slightly forward and center. Couple more breaths. Lengthen the crown of your head towards the ground. Bring your hands back under your shoulders to a flat back. Take a walk to the left, and as you do so, pivot your left toes. Rise up for warrior 2. Situate your feet. Remembering warrior 2 is the longest standing pose on 2 feet. So challenge yourself, but make sure your knee and ankle in the front leg can remain stacked. Couple more strong breaths. Breathing into the space behind your heart. Take your left elbow to thigh, right arm to sky for side angle. If you have farther to go, the left hand can reach towards the ground. You could hold your ankle or bring your palm or fingertips all the way to the earth. Continue breathing behind your heart in an effort to pull the sternum in and flatten out the pose, right? Getting rid of any sway back. Spiral your gaze upward and see if you can take the right ribs open with you. On an exhale, rise to warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, flip your front palm, and reverse it back. Windmill your hands down to runner's lunge as you bend your front knee. Spiral your back heel up and off the mat. And then we'll lower the back knee down. Crawl your hands up onto your left thigh. Untuck your back toes. And then we'll take the hands up to the head of the femur, right at the hip crease. Push down. What we're doing here, even in a subtle manner, is trying to stretch the joint capsule, which is basically this kind of sheath that runs over the joint, keeping everything together, which we want. But sometimes that joint gets a little too compacted. So through this downward pressure, we're just stretching that out a little bit and gaining a little more space in the hip socket. Maintain this essence of grounding as you release your hands to heart center. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, twist to your left, taking your elbow across and on the outside of your left knee. Take your left hand now to the outside of your left thigh. Snug your right arm across and see if you can get your knee a little higher towards your armpit. Return hands to heart center. Tuck your back toes and try lifting your knee for a runner's twist. Squeeze your glutes. And you'll try opening your wingspan. Right hand down, the left arm high. Now we'll try a bind here. If you want to use your strap, the strap will come into your left hand, and then you'll take your left arm behind your back. Your right arm will then go underneath your left leg, and you'll see if you can connect the hands, or maybe grab the strap and choke up on the strap. You're welcome to stay here. Otherwise, we'll look down at the ground, shift your weight forward into your left foot, and we'll try a little bound half moon. Right toes will hover. Play with it. When you're ready, you release. Open your wingspan. Take your hands back down to frame your front foot. Walk to the right and return to your wide leg fold. Shake it out. Release. Walk your feet backwards so your heels are towards the back edge of your mat. Bend your left knee. Take your left knee down to the mat. As we set up gate pose, you'll upright, and you can bring your right foot forward so it's more in line with your knee. Take your left arm up to the sky, right hand to your right thigh. Lengthen on inhale. Side bend to the right on exhale. With this, spiral your heart slightly upwards. Spiral your gaze and look past your top arm. Rise back up through center. Take your hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes. Lift it back up to the wide leg fold. And adjust once again so you're on the same lane. Lengthen on a breath in. Bow forward on breath out. If you liked using the strap for the bind variation, I want you to just move that strap towards the back edge of your mat as we're going to take a similar sequence but on the other edge. Couple more breaths to hang here. Let it feel good. All right, take your hands back underneath your shoulders as you rise towards a flat back. Walk to the right, pivoting your right foot as you do so, and then open up once again for warrior two towards the back edge. Make your little adjustments as needed, aligning your feet, letting your left hip shy forward a touch if necessary so that your right thigh bone can stay a straight line forward. Reach beyond your fingers. Feel that peeling open your collarbones. Stay with strong, mindful breaths. Take your right elbow to right thigh, left arm to sky for side angle. And again, if you've got farther, the right hand can reach. It can grab your right ankle, or your fingers can graze the earth. Spiral your gaze up past your top arm. Lean back in your chest with a little forward movement of your hips. Couple more breaths. Press down through your feet. Activate your legs to support the pose. And then on exhale, rise through warrior two. Straighten your front leg, flip your front palm, and reverse. Don't worry so much about arcing so deeply, but think more about what angle you can reach that's going to give you the most length through the right side body. Come on up. Windmill your hands down to runner's lunge at the back of your mat. Drop your back knee. Now I'll spin just so you can see what I'm doing. You'll crawl your hands up onto your right thigh. The hands once again come up towards the hip crease so that you can press down. Feel even the smallest bit of space you're creating in the hip socket and the additional grounding through your front foot. Maintain as your hands come back to heart. Now remember to have that strap handy. You'll take a breath in first. Exhale, twist to the right. Hook your elbow outside your knee. Now we'll take the right hand to the outside of the right thigh. Snug your left arm across more, getting your knee and armpit a little closer to one another. As the hands return to heart center, organize and solidify your twist. Tuck your back toes and try lifting your knee for runner's lunge. And then we'll open the wingspan. Left hand down and right arm high. If you're going for the bind, the strap's going to come into your right hand and the right arm will come behind your back. Take your left arm underneath your left thigh and see if you can grab your hand for the bind. Once you've got it, recommit to an open chest. Crawl your hands as close to one another as you can, choking up on the strap. And then you can work towards the bound half moon. From here, you'll look at the ground. Shift your weight towards your front foot, tiptoeing on your back foot, and working the left foot off the ground. Play with it. As you're ready, slide out, release your strap, release your bind. Take your hands back to the ground, and then once again, you'll walk and pivot back to your wide leg fold. Take a moment to dangle. Walk your heels towards the back edge of the mat behind you. Bend your right knee as you drop it down to the ground, upright through the chest, and you can adjust your left foot so it's in line with your knee for gate pose. Lengthen your right arm up towards the sky. Take a breath in. Exhale, side bend to the left. A little bit of spiral, heart and gaze towards the sky. Rise back up. Take your hands to the ground. Tuck your back toes to lift your knee and adjust back to a wide leg fold. Just 1 or 2 more breaths here. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Walk to the left for runner's lunge and simply step back to down dog. Drop your knees wide, toes together. Sink back to a child's pose. If you'd like a sip of water, now is a great time. Recalibrate your breath. Ground down and soften your effort. Start to peel yourself back up, finding downward facing dog. Breathe in, sweep your right leg up and back, 3-leg dog. Take your knee to nose, step your foot between your hands. Lower your back knee and reach your arms up for low lunge. Ground by spreading your toes. Push your feet into the earth. Reach up through your palms and then see if the palms will comfortably come together to touch. Bend your elbows, but be careful of splaying them out too wide. Squeeze them in towards your ears, and then on an inhale, we'll lengthen up through the elbows. Exhale, reach your fingers back and down. Again, inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. So keep working with that rhythm, finding more and more back bends. But if there ever comes a time where there is pinching, ease up a little bit. You can allow your head to rest on your arms, releasing any strain in the neck. A couple breaths to linger. Continue reaching your fingers down. Stay in the back bend. Extend your arms, let the palms reach apart. And exhale, wide arms, hands come back down to the earth. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Bring your tented fingertips forward and rise to a supported warrior 3. Square your left hip down towards the ground. And then your straight left leg will come down to match the right leg as you stand in a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. Take your peace fingers, hook them around your big toes. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. The elbows go wide as you pull. Remembering weight mid-foot, a bit of engagement through your quads. And again, the pull through the toes. Shoulder blades should be moving down your back towards your waistline. Space for the neck to breathe. Now consider how easy it is for you to reach your feet. If it's challenging, I would grab your strap. Release your toes. Come all the way up to stand. If it feels nice to take an inhale, reach, go for it. Exhale, hands to heart. Shift your weight into your left foot and draw your right knee into your chest. You could grab a hold of your knee and give it a hoist. And if you're strapping your foot, do that now, looping it around and holding the strap with your left hand. Otherwise, round your back as you reach for the razor edge of your right foot, and your right arm will extend towards the sky. As you lengthen your leg, your right arm will reach back and you open into the twist. Try out shifting your gaze to the side wall or even to the wall behind you. See about maintaining your balance. Shift your way forward, 2 hands to your foot. Fold, forehead towards your knee. Wrap your elbows towards your leg. And then full warrior 3. Sweep your right leg back. The arms come forward. Lengthen. Reach your right toes way, way back. Lift, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Breathe in. Fly your left leg up and back behind. Take your knee to your chest, round your back, and step your foot through. Lower the back knee, extend your arms up. Situate your legs, squaring your hips by drawing the left hip back. Press your feet into the ground. Reach up through the hands, see if the palms comfortably touch, and bend your elbows. Now, not only are you lifting through the elbows, but imagine your sternum sliding up the wall in front of you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach back through the fingers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Again, you can keep working with that. When you find a place to land, the head rests on your arms, the elbows hug in towards your ears, and a little bracing through the belly to protect compression of the back. Always lifting and lengthening to back bend. Maintain your back bend, but straighten the arms. Let the palms drift apart. Wide arms. Bring them back down to the earth. Tuck your back toes and lift your knee. Take your tented fingertips forward and rise to a supported warrior 3. Square your right hip down towards the ground. Kick your right heel back while your head and spine lengthen forward. Your straight right leg will come down to the ground to match the left forward fold. This time, Pada Hastasana. Take your palms face up underneath your feet, toes up towards your wrist creases. And then you can wiggle around the toes a bit to massage the hands, or even play with balance by shifting your weight forward to lift your heels. Release your hands. Inhale, rise up, grab your strap if you need it. Take a sweep if it feels good. And exhale, hands to heart. Weight will come into your right foot. Take your left knee to chest, and you can grab a hold to give it a hoist. Stabilize by finding something to look at. And then you're either looping your foot with the strap and holding it with your right hand. Otherwise, you're rounding your back. Right hand reaches for the razor edge of the left foot, and your left arm will extend up to the sky. As you kick your left leg forward, the left arm reaches back to open into twist. And then you can challenge the gaze, either sideways or back past your left hand. Stay tall through your spine. Ground through your standing foot. Maintain the balance. Square forward. Two hands come to your foot. And then you round down over your left leg. Forehead towards your knee. Wrap your elbows towards your leg. Full warrior 3. The left leg sweeps back. The arms reach forward. Imagine you had a block between your hands and press inwards. Create your work there. Reach your left toes way, way back. Breathe in, crescent lunge. Breathe out, hands to mat. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here or in child's pose. If you're down, rise back up to down dog. Take your left foot, resist the 3-leg dog. Just lift the left foot, step it between your hands for low lunge, drop your back knee. Now this time, we're going to sink back and pivot the right shin in as you come all the way back to sit. Guide your right foot to your left inner thigh. Turn your chest to the right. Left hand will come to your leg or inside of your leg, and your right arm will reach up. Again, work the spiral to the right. Breathe in for length. Breathe out, side bend to the left. And you'll see if your left elbow can come down to the earth inside of your leg. And that way you can use that, pressing the elbow into your leg to spiral your heart towards the sky. Your right palm is spinning towards the ground. And you might find that you can connect the hands to your foot. If you have that, your left shoulder will snug inside your left leg. The pinky fingers are ideally pointing up while the thumbs are on the heel side of the foot. And again, you're looking underneath your right arm to spiral. Be mindful of your 2 sits bones. Stay anchored on your seat, trying to resist the lift of the right sit bone. A couple more breaths into your right side body. Slowly release. Inhale, rising up. Bring yourself back to square. Press yourself up to the lunge. Adjust and pivot as needed. All right, so we're going to try our visvamitrasana. You may need your strap here. We'll start by tucking the back toes. Lift your back knee and drop your back heel to the right. Is that right? I think it's to the left for more side angle legs. Your left hand is first inside your left foot, and then underneath into the outside of your left foot. You're going to snug your shoulder underneath there as much as possible. And then if you're using the strap, you're looping it around your left foot and holding on to it. Otherwise, you're lifting your left heel and taking your right hand to the razor edge of your left foot. Start by rooting through your left hand, pluck your left foot off the ground and squeeze your arm. Stage 2, straighten your left leg and look underneath your right arm. Spiral your heart towards the sky as much as your body will allow. Ground through your back foot. And as you're ready, square down. Release your foot back down. Unravel your hands. Drop your back knee and just sweep your left leg back. Come back to a child's pose. Make sure everything is square. You may notice that the sensation in one side of the body feels different than the other. So do your best to get as even as you can, using this child's pose to lengthen out your spine back to some semblance of synergy and symmetry. All right, friends, rise back up, downward facing dog. On an inhale, step your right foot forward, resist the three-leg dog, low lunge. Pivot your left shin in as you come back to sit and readjust left foot to the right inner thigh. Turn your body towards the left. The right hand is either on your leg or inside your leg. Left arm to the sky. Twist your body towards the left. Lengthen upwards and side bend to the right. See if your right elbow will come down to the earth inside the thigh. And then again, press one into the other to spiral your heart towards the sky. You may find that the hands reach the foot. Snug your right shoulder inside the leg. And again, we're twisting. Roll your heart open towards the ceiling. Couple more breaths. Slowly release. Rise up. And then again, we'll use the hands. Pivot forward, roll over your shin, and readjust to your lunge. So we'll try this on the other side. Again, have your strap handy if you're going to use it. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Drop your heel to the right, and I mean it this time. The right hand comes inside your right foot, and then we weave it under. So we're trying to get that shoulder underneath the knee as much as we can, snug it in. The right palm will plant, and we remember the right hand and the left foot is our anchor, so keep that grounded and strong. You're either looping the strap around your right foot and holding it with your left hand. Otherwise, lift your right heel and take your left hand to the razor edge of your right foot. Start by squeezing your knee into your shoulder. Lift your right foot and squeeze your arm. If you're going further, straighten your right leg. Peek under your left arm. and attempt any amount of spiral of your heart towards the sky. Ground through your back foot and your hand. Squeeze your glutes. When you're ready to come out, square down, return your right foot to the floor, unravel, back knee down, and very simply sweep your right leg back. Take your knees wide and sink back to child's pose. Notice the effects of the pose. Your heartbeat, and the rhythm of your breath. Any buzzing energy in the body. And work to ground that down. Some big inhales through the nose. Open mouth exhales. Walk your hands over to the right for side body stretch. Through center and to the left. Back to center and up to tabletop. Stack your joints. Take a breath in, peel your right arm to the sky, reach high. And then thread the needle. Right arm under left arm, set your head and shoulder down. And then you take any variation you like here. Typically it's either the left arm reaching forward or the left arm wrapping behind the back. Whichever variation is calling to you, that's the one you stick with. Slide your left hand underneath your face, or in front of your face rather. Reach your right arm to the sky to open up. 2 hands to the ground for tabletop. Other side, breathe in, left arm to sky. Breathe out, thread needle. Left arm under right. Set your head and shoulder down and take the variation you like. Slide your right hand back in front of your face. Unravel the left arm to the sky. Breathe in. 2 hands to the ground for table. If you need any shifting movements, take them now. A little bit of rocking forward and backward. Some cat-cows. Swaying your head side to side. Whatever it is that you need. As you're ready, we'll come to a seat, whatever is comfortable for you. So that could be hero's pose or a traditional cross leg. If you have a block or something handy that you want to sit on to make your seat a little bit more supported, I recommend it. And then I'll invite you to close your eyes. Now, if I were to ask you to lengthen your spine 3 inches taller, notice if your tendency was to stick your heart up and forward. Can you instead lift your back ribs? Lift from the base of your neck, lengthening through the back body and feeling a little bit of space between each individual vertebra. Notice if your lap turned on, and see if you can relax your legs heavy. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Draw a slow breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brief hold. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brief hold. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brief hold. Inhale. 4. Hold. 4. Exhale. 8. A brief hold. Begin again at your own pace, taking 3 more cycles. An inhale for 4, a hold for 4, exhale for 8. Whenever you complete your 3rd round, return to easy breath. With your eyes closed, slowly twist to the right. Left hand to your knee with the right fingertips behind. Spiral. Even with eyes closed, your chin turning towards your right shoulder. Come back through center. Lengthen, inhale. Twist left, exhale. Right hand to knee, left fingers behind. Spiral your chin towards the left shoulder. Come back round to center. This concludes our practice for the day. I would recommend you stay seated for a brief meditation or take yourself down onto your back for a traditional corpse pose for a little rest and shavasana. Thank you so much for tuning in. Namaste.